Hello friends, my name is Smruti Vasavada and today we are going to start with the new subject Finance for HR Professionals and Compensation Management. Let us now discuss about the various compensation benefits. Compensation benefits are the indirect financial benefits that an employee gets during his employment to the organization. It plays a very important role in the pay to an employee. So basically the compensation of an employee is calculated as basic pay plus all these indirect financial benefits. The first one is for employment security. For employment security, there are various benefits that an organization gives. Under this head, all the benefits such as insurance, leave travel allowances, conveyance, holiday homes, all these benefits are considered under this head. So basically, these are the benefits that an employee gets where he feels secured in the organization. Under this head, there are various other types of benefits that an employee gets. It is further divided as payment for time not worked. As I said, payment for time not worked considers all the leaves that an employee gets. It includes all the sick leaves, the casual leaves, maternity leaves, paternity leaves, vacation off, festival offs. So these are the leaves that an employee gets under the head pay for time not worked. Each and every employee gets paid for such leaves. It is further divided into hours of work. Hours of work means the minimum hours of work that an employee must devote to the organization. The maximum hour is limited to 48 hours in a week and 9 hours in a day. So basically, each and every employee should not work more than 48 hours in a week and not more than 9 hours in a day. So 9 hours is the maximum. If he is working beyond this basic hours, he gets overtime pay. The next one is paid holidays. Paid holidays are the holidays that an employee gets. The examples of paid holidays are compulsory weekly off, the compulsory festival off, where an organization remains shut. Each and every organization has Sunday weekly off. Many organizations have 2 days off in a week, Saturday and Sunday. If a particular organization does not have an off on Sunday, it compensates the employee with some other day. For example, any weekday. The next one is shift premium. Shift premium is the amount that an employee gets if he is working during second or third shift. Second or third shift means during the night shift or during the normal routine office hours. The normal routine office hours are normally 9:30 to 6:30, right? So beyond that, if a person is working at night, most of the call centers, most of the BPOs work at night. So here the people get shift premium because they are working at a very odd hour. The next one is holiday pay. Holiday pay means each and every organization gives benefit to the organization where they reimburse the employees for the holiday they take or for a vacation they go on. The next one is paid vacation. Paid vacation is similar to holiday pay. Paid vacation is normally sponsored by the organization for their employees to take a week off for paid vacation. All the arrangements are done by the organization. They sponsor each and every expenses that an employee has to bear personally to go on a vacation. The next one is for old age and retirement. For old age and retirement, these are the deferred benefits that an organization gives to their employees. It includes all the pension plans, insurance scheme, provident fund, all the deferred income that an employee gets after his retirement during the old age. The next one is for personal identification, participation and simulation. Under this head, the benefits such as insurance plan, various competitions, various sessions, the sessions such as the mentoring sessions, guidance, training, development. There are various activities that an organization conducts. They celebrate various festivals in the organization, such as celebrating Independence Day in the organization, where each and every employee wears something related to the color of flag. Other things such as various brainstorming activities or group activities that an organization conducts to freshen up the minds of their employees. These are the benefits that an employee gets in the organization under the head for personal identification, participation and simulation. The next one is employee security. Employee security includes all the benefits that an employee gets during his employment to the organization. It includes various hygiene facilities, sanitation facilities, the subsidized meals, child care service for the little ones, etc. So these benefits are included under the employee security benefits. The next one is safety and health. Safety and health is the utmost priority of an organization, and each and every organization has to see that their employees are safe and are healthy under the environment of their organization. Sometimes the environment in factories or industries are very harmful for the factory laborers or workers. So it is the responsibility of the factory owners, the managers, to maintain the hygiene, to maintain the sanitation so that they are safe and healthy. Healthy and safety benefits are further divided into sickness benefit. Sickness benefits are the leaves that an employee gets during a particular year. There are a maximum number of 56 leaves that an employee take as sick leave. So total number of sick leave that an employee gets are 56 days in a year. The next one is maternity benefit. Maternity benefit are given to women employees who delivers a child during the course of her employment. The total number of maternity benefits or total number of leaves that a woman gets is minimum 12 weeks to maximum 26 weeks. The next one is disablement benefit. Disablement benefit is a situation where if an employee gets sick or if he gets injured during his employment or while he is providing his services to the organization, it is the responsibility of the organization to get him reimbursed for the same. And if in case he is not able to work, if he becomes completely disabled, it is the responsibility of the organization to incur all the medical expenses of the employee plus to give him monthly or yearly benefits. The next one is dependence benefit. Dependence benefit is a scenario where if an employee dies during his employment, the family of the employee gets a monthly or yearly lump sum amount. So the employee need not be worried about maintaining the standard of living after his death. And along with the lump sum amount, the family of an employee gets insurance, gets provident fund. If the employee would be getting pension after retirement, the family would be getting the pension benefits, etc. The next one is medical benefit. Medical benefits are the benefits that an employee gets if he gets sick or he feels ill during his employment. So all the hospitalization charges, the surgical charges are borne by the organization. The next heading is welfare facilities. Welfare facilities are the non-monetary facilities that an organization gives, such as free meals or subsidized meal, canteen facility, child care service, etc. So these benefits are included under welfare benefits. Canteen facility. canteen facility for factory laborers, workers, or somewhere in the industrial area, so that they get subsidized food to eat. The next one is consumer society. Consumer society are a type of store that is normally near the factory or near the industry, so that the workers can go and buy the basic things that they need from that store. It is normally situated beside the factory or industry. So these are known as consumer society. The next one is credit society. Credit society mean it is a type of bank, not exactly bank, but its main objective is to provide loans to the employees at a very lower rate as compared to the bank rate. So there are various examples. Railways provide loans to their employees at a very cheaper rate compared to the market rate. The employees of various banks get interest at a very cheaper rate. So these are the examples of credit society. The next one is housing. Housing is normally a quarter provided to employees in the organization. This is very common in public sector, where they provide housing or quarters to the employees of their organization. For example, railway giving quarters to their employees. Railways have various quarters at various locations, such as in Baikala, it is in Parel, it is in Matunga, Andheri, Borivali. So these are the quarters that an employee gets during his course of employment. Once he gets retired, they have to vacate the quarters. The next one is employee counseling. So each and every organization has a facility where they provide counseling to their employees. The employees face various issues, be it personal, be it professional. So there are various counselors visiting the organization once in a week or once in a month. So the counseling gets done of the employees who face various problems. The next one is holiday homes. Holiday homes are the non-monetary benefits that an employee gets. There are various holiday homes of so many organizations. These holiday homes are normally situated at hill stations, vacation location, etc. For example, railway holiday home at Matheran, railway holiday home at somewhere in north in Manali or something. The State Bank of India holiday homes in various locations in Matheran, in Mahabaleshwar. So these are various holiday homes that an employee can avail, or he can book the holiday homes at a very lower rate as compared to the market rate. Or many organizations give this holiday home for a week or for 10 to 15 days at free of cost to their employees.